Welcome to the Nature of Teaching Professional Development webinar series. My name is Lauren Teamy, and I am the Ag and Natural Resources Educator for Purdue Extension in Delaware County. Today's webinar will cover the unit Health and Wellness. This unit teaches students the relationship between outdoor experiences and mental health. It contains 4 lessons, which meet several English and language arts and health and wellness academic standards, and 1 science academic standard. Joining me today is Heather Caldwell. She's the Ag and Natural Resources Educator, as well as the 4-H Youth Development Educator for Fayette County. Today, she will be introducing the unit, followed by some videos of the individual lessons and activities. I will finish the webinar highlighting additional resources and the procedure to obtain your certificate of completion for this webinar. And with that, Heather, I will turn things over to you.
All right, great. Thank you, Lauren. So as Lauren mentioned, we are going to discuss the benefits of connecting with nature today. We're glad to have you all with us here. We're going to do a brief introduction on the lessons here. There are 4 lessons, 1 through 4, as you see here, that each have different activities for the students to do. This is focused towards elementary age youth. Each lesson should last 30 to 40 minutes. There is some flexibility with that, so you can take them a little bit longer, a little bit shorter as you need. And the great thing is that there's not a lot of materials that are required for these lessons. Their worksheets are provided here for you online, and the only extra things you need are some drawing utensils, crayons, coloring pencils, regular pencils for writing activities, and then a clipboard for times when you're going to be going outside into nature. So let's talk about why this curriculum is important. So only 6 states currently require physical education in every grade. And we know already that youth are inactive. 2 out of 3 actually youth spend more than 7.5 hours a day in front of a screen. This is educational options and non-educational. And we know with e-learning happening more frequently now, that is, of course, contributing to students spending so much screen time. And an inactive lifestyle contributes to long-term health problems, obesity, depression, stress, anxiety. Those just are a few of them. And we know that being out in nature will help in the sense that studies show it that students who spend more time outside have more imagination, they're more creative. When students are outside in nature, they're really allowed to use things out in nature just to let their imagination run wild. So it's a great opportunity for them to be creative, not only just by themselves, but also with their friends. Being outside causes lower stress levels. We'll talk about that during some of the lessons here. Allows them to have more opportunity with problem solving. It allows them to have better behavior. When students are outside in nature, it just kind of calms the whole person down, gives them more opportunities to just have some responsibility and some self-control. They have greater respect for themselves and others. They seem to have more self-confidence. And we'll talk more about here, this last section here, that what a person sees, hears, or smell can change their mood, their blood pressure, immune system functions. One of our lessons deals strictly with that, as you'll see coming up. So we're going to dive right into lesson 1. We've got a little video here to share with you.
Hi, my name is Dana Gattican. I'm the Agricultural and Natural Resource Educator with Purdue Extension in Vigo County. Benefits of Connecting with Nature, Unit 1, Lesson 1. Emotion Vocabulary Exploration. What you need to do is print your pre-made vocabulary cards, so they will look like this. They have the word on one side and the definition on the reverse side. By learning these vocabulary words, we will help students identify their feelings and explain how nature affects them. So you're going to review the cards, and then after knowing all the words and what they mean, you're going to take this emoji face and you're going to choose a word and draw an expression to match that word. A fun and different step would be to have students draw their vocabulary word from a bag. Then you're going to use the emotion vocabulary worksheet, this guy. For every word, you're going to think of a sentence. I like to make mine about nature. If you want to tackle another activity, you can do the emotional vocabulary word search to see if you can find all 18 words. You can also do the vocabulary word match worksheet to see if you really did learn those definitions. I'm ecstatic that you're able to join me today, and I hope you have fun with your emotional vocabulary exploration.
Okay, so we're going to expand a little bit on what Dana talked about. As you saw, she has these vocabulary word match worksheets, the emotion word search, and this other vocabulary worksheet. She also discussed the vocabulary words. Those vocabulary words will be used throughout the entire session of Benefits of Nature. So as you saw in her video, you may want to laminate those cards just to make sure that you can use them for a long time without getting them destroyed or lost or torn, hopefully. And those are easy ways to share those with the students. But these are just quick looks at the worksheets that she talks about. The answer keys are available online. So if you're not great at word searches, those answer keys for teachers are available for all of these different worksheets that you'll have. So next we're going to go into lesson 2. This lesson talks about guided imagery and how you're going to take the students outside, or also you can stay inside, well, I guess whichever one you want, and read different stories to them. So let's take a look at this.
Hi, my name is Kelsey Muller. I'm an extension educator with Purdue Extension, and today I would like to share with you a lesson from The Nature of Teaching, Benefits of Connecting with Nature, Unit 1. The guided imagery lesson encourages students to examine and reflect on how different places or environments can influence their mental and emotional well-being. For this exercise, you will need the reflection worksheet and some drawing utensils. I invite you to close your eyes and breathe deeply. Imagine that you are standing in a forest, surrounded by tall trees full of deep green leaves. There is a bubbling creek nearby, and there is a gently blowing breeze. As you walk through the forest, you hear many birds chirping and see them fluttering through the trees. What else do you hear in the forest? What do you see? Can you smell the fresh air and feel the breeze on your skin? Take another deep breath, count to 3, and slowly open your eyes. Now I ask you to write your thoughts and feelings on the reflection worksheet under Scene 1. I encourage you to use some of the vocabulary listed next. Again, I invite you to close your eyes and breathe deeply. Imagine that you are in the middle of a big city, surrounded by tall skyscraper buildings, metal and concrete all around you. As you stand on the sidewalk, you can hear the noise of passing cars and buses. What else do you hear in the city? What do you see? What do you smell? Take a deep breath, count to 3, and slowly open your eyes. Again, you can write your thoughts and feelings on the reflection worksheet under Scene 2. I encourage you to use the words from the vocabulary list next. Through this exercise, you may have realized how the different images may have elicited different responses. Now take the opportunity to draw your own scene. Draw a picture of a place that makes you feel calm, confident, content, and hopeful. After you have completed your drawing, down below, write a short paragraph on why that place makes you feel calm, confident, content, and hopeful. Thank you for joining me for the guided imagery exercises. Learn more by visiting www.purdue.edu/nature for more about the nature of teaching's informal and formal curricula.
Okay, so this is a picture of the reflection worksheet that she was talking about. So those stories that she read there in that video are provided to you on the website. So you don't have to make those up or try and figure out how to do that. But you'll notice that she gave those stories in a quiet, calm, slow voice and cadence. Just really allow the students to get into their imagination, give them time to think through this story in their minds. So the students really seem to enjoy this. They, able to close their eyes, really just think through it. And then when they open their eyes, there you'll have them fill out the information for scene 1. And then you'll do the big city story, and then have them fill out this worksheet here for scene 2. Then, as she mentioned, there is a drawing your own scene worksheet. So allow the students just to spend time with their crayons and their color pencils or whatever, just drawing a picture that makes them feel calm, confident, and let them share with the class. How does this make them feel? Why do they feel this way? What are different things that they enjoy about this scene? So in the past, we've had students draw pictures of their backyards. And this is an example here of a student who drew a picture of her swing set in the backyard and how that's her favorite place to be, why she likes being there, how she enjoys playing with her siblings. So it really kind of gives you a new perspective of the students a lot of times, because they're able to share more about themselves and who they are and what places are important to them and why. So now we're going to talk about lesson 3. This is the creative writing exercise. So what they're going to do here is look at this picture. And again, you'll see that we've got these vocabulary words that we've talked about. They continue to come up through all of these lessons. So you're going to ask the students to describe how that scene here makes them feel and why do they feel this way. So again, it's another option for them to do some creative writing, use vocabulary words, and then share their experiences and their stories with their classmates. So lesson 3 helps these students, as you've noticed, lots of opportunities for writing. It allows them to improve and build their writing skills using particular vocabulary words. It allows them to verbally communicate with their peers and with you as their teacher. And then it also helps them to understand that looking at one picture can provide a wide variety of what people see, how they feel, how their state of mind is at that point as they look at that. It allows students to understand that different people see the same picture in different ways. So there are a couple of additional lessons through this that are provided for you. One is called the More Writing Worksheet, and I've put the acronym down here about what that is for. It allows them to really expand and answer specific questions on their creative writing. So this is an opportunity, maybe as you end all these lessons or something, as they've had some practice, that you can do this. And another thing is for letting them be creative and actually just create a visual art project in connection with how they feel, in the sense of what places make them feel comfortable. Like that girl that did her backyard swing set. Can she create that swing set out of different craft items that you might be able to provide? Or perhaps this is something that you have them do at home and then bring in for like a show and tell opportunity. So just a different way to visualize and for them to explain how nature is beneficial and important to them. All right, we're going to move on now to lesson 4, and this is exploring nature with your senses. Hi everybody, I'm Heather Caldwell with Purdue Extension. Today we're going to talk about the lesson on benefits of connecting with nature with your senses. So the first thing you want to do with your class is to review the vocabulary words at the beginning of the lesson. The second thing you're going to need to do is make copies for each student. You're going to make 8 copies of the student survey for each of your kids. Then you're going to make 1 copy each of the smell data sheet, the hearing data sheet, the sight data sheet, and the combined senses data sheet. Then now you're going to get your kids together and you're going to have them take the first student survey. You're going to have them color each of these emotions that you've reviewed in the vocabulary words. You're going to have them color from the bottom to the top on how they're feeling currently for each emotion. So for example, anxious is the first emotion. Have the student color from the bottom to the top with crayons, pencils, magic markers, how they're feeling, how anxious are they today. Have them go through all of the emotions. Now, once they're done with this, it's time to head out to nature. Hi everybody, I'm Heather Caldwell with Purdue Extension. Today we're going to talk about the lesson on benefits of connecting with nature with your senses. So the first thing you want to do with your class is to review the vocabulary. Okay, so these are the worksheets that I was talking about in that video. And this student survey, that's a whole page of the little people with the emotion next to them. That's the page that they're going to color. They're going to color that page before they head outside. Then you're going to go outside and have them do the smell data sheet. Once you get done with that, you'll come back inside, fill out the student survey again. So you're able to compare, how did the students feel before they went out to nature and then after they went out to nature for each of the smell, hearing, sight, and combined senses data. So we'll show you another video to explain that in a little bit more. Have the students head outside with the worksheet about sense of smell. Have them observe, what do they smell around them in nature? Give them 5 or 10 minutes to write down their observations. When they're done, give them a student survey and have them fill a second one out from the bottom to the top according to the emotions that they're feeling after being in nature. You may need to review the vocabulary words with the students at this time. On day 2, have the students fill out the student survey again on how they're feeling and head outside with their sense of hearing. Again, spread the students out, let them observe and write down, what do they hear? Have them do the student survey one more time, coloring from the bottom to the top on how their emotions are after being in nature. On day 3, you'll do the same exercise, but take out the worksheet for things that they are seeing. Have them observe with their sense of sight. Have them do the student survey one more time. And on day 4, you'll take the combined senses worksheet outside. Again, do the student survey before and after they're outside. You should observe a change in their emotions from when they are before going out in nature to after they go out into nature. Okay, so once you've done all of those student surveys and then you do the different senses, there are a couple of additional activities that you can do that we'll explain right here. Once you're done with the 4 days of lessons, bring the kids together and talk about their emotions and how nature had an effect on them. Were they happier being outside? Were they more calm? Just talk about the emotions, and again, you may have to review the vocabulary words one more time. A final lesson you could do is to go out and do these exercises at different times of the year: spring, summer, winter, fall. Talk to the kids about how there's different sounds or smells in different times of the year. This would be great for learning of observations of different times of the year. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so that is all 4 of those lessons for the benefit of nature. Lauren, go ahead and take it away.
Of course. Thank you so much. So I want to thank you all for joining us for the Nature of Teaching Professional Development webinar covering the unit Health and Wellness, teaching students about the relationship between outdoor experiences and mental health. If you enjoyed this webinar, I encourage you to click on the card in the top right of your screen to visit our Nature of Teaching YouTube channel. Here you can view sneak peeks of lesson plans that are directly related to the webinar you just completed. To obtain your certificate of completion for this webinar, please click on the second card in the top right of your screen. Here you will be directed to a short Qualtrics survey to provide us with some feedback on the program. Once that's completed, you will be automatically emailed your certificate of completion. We hope you enjoyed learning with us and consider participating in additional professional development webinars offered by the Nature of Teaching team. Until then, thank you for engaging our youth with nature.